when it comes to transitioning and adjusting to the life outside of sports or life after sports. Many of us suffer from the impacts of our thoughts, and it really does truly change the way that we act. For some of us, it goes in a positive way, and for some of us, it goes in a negative way. But I want to encourage you this week to understand that how you think can really shape your life and change the way that you move. When you first discovered that you were good at sports, or when someone identified it in you, you had this amazing dream. It just came. Like you started dreaming. You really felt like you were going to be able to do XYZ simply because you identified one gift. You knew that you had an opportunity to use this gift to change the trajectory of your life and those around you. And I want you to know that that is very honorable. Wanting to help others, wanting to be in a space where you are lifting others up and like being the person that makes everything better for other people. But I want you to know that that very thought process is the very thing that's keeping you in the dark space that you're in right now. As a former athlete that did not make it to the ultimate goal, I can tell you from experience that when I didn't make it, I felt very guilty for not being able to fulfill the promises that I made based off of a gift that God gave me. And a lot of times when it comes to athletes, I feel like we want to make everybody else's life better and like take people along with us. And when we're not able to do that, it makes us feel like we're less than or we don't have value. And I'll be the first to tell you right now, your value has not diminished simply because you did not reach the ultimate goal. God wrote your story and your plan. Sometimes you identifying the gift was an opportunity to get you out of a situation or give you a ticket to be exposed to something or ultimately to discover your other gifts. I think that everybody's platform in sports is to give them an opportunity to live out the dream and explore and discover their other gifts. But I know that when you're in the space where you are gifted, many people deem you as the cash cow. So you just automatically have this idea of I'm obligated to put on for my city and carry everybody. I'm putting the city on my back. That is the wrong perspective to take. As honorable as it is, I just want you to know that if you're going to transition and if you're going to build a new life and shift from being in this space to build a new life, you have to let go of what you thought would be and be open to whatever it is that God is calling you to be. And know that it does not diminish your value just because you weren't able to fulfill the promises that you made based off of the 17, 16, 15-year-old you versus now. The things that you put on your back were by choice. Those obligations and things that you tied yourself to, you did that on your own. This is something that naturally happens, especially when you're talking about being from the inner city, from the hood, and just being in the spaces like that. You tied yourself to those thoughts. You tied yourself to that idea of being the one to save everyone. And now in this space, as you're transitioning outside of sports, it's killing you because you're feeling like you're a failure and you're not. It's amazing that we've all had so many people supporting us and being in our corner. And it's great that you want to be the person that can really help them change their lives. But you can't change anyone else's life until you are able to change your own. You have to take care of yourself and make sure that you have great boundaries and understanding of self so that when you do help someone, you're not compromising yourself and your integrity. And so moving forward, it's going to be important for you to have a clear idea of how you want to approach your thought process because it's going to be some dark times. You're going to be grieving the person that you thought you were going to be. You're going to be grieving the ideas that you had for your lifestyle. But I want you to know that that pride and that intenseness can be diminished by gratitude. So I want to introduce two concepts to you, two approaches to thinking. Let's talk about the two approaches. You can take a deficiency approach to your thoughts, or you can take a hope approach to your thoughts. The deficiency approach gives everything and everyone else power over your life. It goes from the outside in. So basically, you look at life or you think in such a way that already starts you at a deficiency from day one. The deficiency approach causes you to operate from your own strength, and it's normally negative. That's a thought process that's normally negative. It says that, everything is on me. I have to do it. If I don't do it, we all fail. This is my only way out. Like, these are the type of statements that someone who has a deficiency thought process uses. A lot of times when you operate in this space, you never feel satisfied. You have a competitive nature. You're always under pressure. Always under pressure. You're craving the acceptance of others. You're always looking for approval, and you are pretty much looking for validation. A hope approach basically is you are relying on the strength of God. A hope approach to your thought process operates from the positive, but it also operates from understanding that your life is in God's hands. You're not focused on handling everything yourself because you know that He has you covered. So, shifting your thought process from a deficiency mindset to a hope process automatically alleviates pressure because you're not carrying everything and it's not all on you. Many people who are in this space find joy in the journey. They really focus on just being grateful and having gratitude for being in the space. You see different situations or pressure situations as opportunities to grow. And you really understand that acknowledgement and validation is accepted but not needed because you're serving God and you know that you're doing what God told you to do. Ultimately, when it comes to your journey of transitioning and just life in general, the way that you think has a way of shaping your life and your actions. And you have to be very intentional about what you allow to cross your mind and your thought processes. There are a lot of landmines in your brain right now, especially with you trying to like navigate and figure out what you're going to do next and finding yourself again and building a strong sense of self. But in that process, you have to choose if you're going to have a deficiency approach or a hope approach to your thought processing. Living in that deficiency is not going to help you. You have to acknowledge and accept what has happened, and you have to remove pride from the situation. You've done enough already. And anything that people place on you or are saying or just trying to like make you feel bad about not getting to a certain point, you have to block it out because a lot of times that's just them projecting their feelings onto you because they didn't get as far as you've gotten. So as you move forward, I want you to trust God. I want you to know that He's with you and that He's walking with you at all times. Your value has not diminished. You are just being placed on a different pathway than the one that you thought you would have. Now, will you find value in that, or will you find joy or gratitude in the new journey? That's up to you. But those obligations that you tied yourself to early on are gone. They're done. You have to release them though. Let it go and be willing to rebuild your life. Because at the end of the day, if you let God guide you, you're going to continue to grow and it's going to get better. But you have to be willing to let go and know that you're still valuable. You're more valuable. So, all right, y'all. Until next time, stay focused, trust God, and respect the process. I'm Coach K. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all next week. Please, please, please be mindful of your thoughts and make sure that you have good people around you that are going to feed the positive, the real, and help you to become more self-aware in your journey. All right, talk to you later. Bye.